You're watching the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, Ryan, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is TND. Welcome to episode 126 of the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Welcome to version 3.0 of the new and improved Dave Cave. We are currently under construction here in the new home. Thank you to Harold the Puppet Realty for hooking me up once again with a brand new spot. I'll give you a tour eventually when I get everything set up, but now it's boxes and bubble wrap as far as the eye can see. But yeah, I didn't realize how much crap I collect until we had to move. And then so did everyone else that helped me move. But shout out to everybody who helped me move because moving sucks, folks. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Live with your parents as long as you can.
Shout out to Dave's 2 giant boxes of t-shirts he posted.
Seriously, I had so my shirts are for sale. I sold 2 of them. So let me hold on. I'll give him a proper shout out. Andrew Gutierrez. Shout out to Andrew Gutierrez from Kentucky. So took the
Did he get any good? Were they crate shirts?
Yeah, it was the FTR shirt that was red and it had them in the background that I said would be a great shirt if they weren't in the background. And the neon best friend shirt from I think it was the All Elite crate.
I like that shirt.
Yeah, it's just not me, but so shout out to Andrew. Of course, if you have any past crate shirts, I've got a lot of them that are unworn. That's the only ones I'm selling. I'm not selling my worn shirts, not that game used T-shirt.
I'm selling the game used, baby.
Size XL, so hit me up. $20 piece shipped in the US, 2 for $30. I'll make a deal past that. But speaking of a lot of stuff that I have in collectibles, I added to my collectibles this past weekend because I went to WWE's house show in White Plains. It was the first time back in 5 years, even though they said 4 years on the mic. But Byron Saxon is wrong because I was there 5 years ago in 2018. So, because they had the countdown to WrestleMania 34. That was 2018 because I went to 35 and 19. So, just saying. The main event 5 years ago was Chris Jericho, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe, Triple H, and I can't remember who else it was. I want to say no. Jinder Mahal fought Roman Reigns that night. So I don't remember.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yes, this is pretty wild. No, but that wasn't like a championship match. It was. Still pretty wild. But yeah, no, because I remember there was a photo of like Finn or Triple H from 5 years ago, like trying to do the 2 sweet to Balor, and Finn just does the finger pistols at him. So White Plains made the list that night. Pretty awesome. But no, so this show was pretty awesome. I brought up the match card. So it was an 8-card match. There was start off KO and Sami Zayn versus the Viking Raiders for the tag titles. So this is also my other problem. Almost every match was a title match, so you knew who was gonna win.
Yeah.
So then you had Rhea Ripley versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea obviously won. Austin Theory versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. Theory retained.
I thought you were going to say Shane McMahon for a second.
I would have FaceTimed Nick. Like, yo! And then in a fatal 4-way, they had Gunther versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Matt Riddle versus Damian Priest, which was a lot of fun. And what's funny is I'll point this out again. I think I've said this previous on the show, but before that match started, Gunther comes on the screen with Marcel Bartel. I think that's his name on SmackDown. He's like, it's a shame that the ring general has to defend his title in such a dump of a town. I'm like, bro, I used to party here right on Mamaroneck Avenue. This is a dump of a town. You're not going to get a single argument from me. This place sucks. And I'm like, I had that thought. I was like, people run down towns all the time. 99% of the people that are at that show do not live in that town. like a lot of the people that I bet go to like MSG for like a house show or Raw, whatever it is, do not live in the city. They're commuting from out of the city. But that's so New Jersey's a dump. Yeah, I agree completely. No offense, Tom. And then they did the final match of the first half of the show was Cody versus Finn Balor in a White Plains street fight, in which they broke a table, swung a chair, and a kendo stick. Pretty wild. But what's great is Margaret goes. So Margaret and her husband Steve wound up going to the show, but they bought tickets late, so they didn't sit next to me, Danielle, and my sister Kathleen. So Margaret's like in another section. So we're texting back and forth in our group chat, and Margaret goes, "I've never seen anybody swing a kendo stick in this town," and I go, "I have. Man, I really miss the Thirsty Turtle," which was a bar that I used to frequent as a delinquent. But yes, and then so intermission comes, and then they had three more matches. They had Bianca Belair, and Becky Lynch versus Bailey and Io Sky, or Io. I forget what they call her now.
They call her Io Sky now.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, Io Shirai is what they call. I'm sorry. I did yell out. Tom says hi to Bailey, but he likes good Bailey. And then they had what's that?
I said that's fair.
I know. And then they had the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes in Butch and Ridge Holland. And what's interesting is like the Brawling Brutes are good guys on TV, but they played right to the crowd because, especially after it was literally the day after Roman Reigns' 1,000-day celebration, the Usos Roman just turned on Jimmy Uso, pretty wild. So like they got a hero's welcome at the house show. So like the Brawling Brutes just played right to it and were like doing heelish stuff, and the Usos were just over like Rover. And then the main event, it was history in the making as we saw the very first defense of the brand new WWE World Heavyweight title as Seth Rollins defeated The Miz. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think The Miz has not won a match this year, so it's pretty wild that he got a title shot at the
I don't think he has.
Yeah, I'm like, but again, it was a great show. I forgot how much fun house shows can be, especially when I'm at the age I'm at, because and if you haven't been to a house show, it makes all the sense in the world as to why WWE tries to be so family friendly. There's a lot of kids at these shows because a Monday night, 8 o'clock in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center is very tough to bring your, 12-year-old to. Whereas Westchester County Center or White Plains, an hour north of the city, it's it's more affordable, first of all, easier to get to. Kids not gonna be out as late. And it's definitely also a more intimate environment. Like I was in the ninth row on the floor back, but I was still close up on, I didn't feel far away, even though I was in like the second to last row on the floor. But yeah, and it was just fun. Like all the kids are like booing Rhea Ripley, and all the grown-ups are like, Rhea Ripley, yeah. Also, doesn't wear makeup at the house show. And by God, she's beautiful. Just saying. Yeah.
Just they probably don't have makeup artists and all that at the house show. I'm sure that they have.
But
that's why I like house shows. House shows are like a completely different vibe than like if you go to a Raw. There's no really like storyline to it, any of it. It's all just kind of fun house show matches, I guess you could call them, and stuff. And also, you said something about intermission. I'm a big fan, especially as I've gotten older, of the intermission. The intermission is an important part of a wrestling show. You need that time to go, just not wrestle for 30 minutes of a 3-hour show.
Man, even if it's just like a 10-minute, like it's not even to go to the bathroom. For me, it's to stretch because the seats in these places are always so tight.
Yep.
Like, which I don't understand in how many years we have not gathered. We need a little bit more room between chairs. But like just to stretch a little bit, to like get my back loose and, man, I'm feeling old, but like that
hit the bathroom.
So nice.
See some wrestlers in the bathroom, grab some concessions.
Get an autograph. Well, I'll say this. So the bathroom. So funny you mentioned the bathroom.
Did you see somebody?
No. Okay. So where the merch stand is, so there's two bathrooms in the county center. So like you enter, you can go to the left. There's food and bathrooms. You can go to the right, and there's the merch stand and a food and bathroom. So where I went. My seats were by the merch stand, by the bathroom over there. So that's where I went intermission. So I was like, I'll just take a look at the merch, like see if I can get it, because it's just a mob of people. It's not a line, it's just a mob. Like squeeze, try and fight your way through. So where the men's bathroom is by the front of the merch table. So I go to the bathroom and I do my business, wash my hands, make sure you wash your hands, you nasty people. And then I pop out. I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to like take a quick look, see what they have, maybe see something on shop WWE.com later. But I'm just trying to like get out of the way of people who are still trying to get into the bathroom. And I wind up right in the middle of the merch table, right in the front. And a lady I didn't even get a chance to look. And I'm like, she's like, can I help you, sir? I was like, Cody Rhodes autograph, please. So, so this bad boy is now in my wonderful collection. $20 for this. Not an 8x10. I don't know what this size. It's not an 8x10. It's bigger than that. But
Weird.
that's yeah. I have one of John Cena that I got at a house show a few years back. And it's definitely an authentic autograph because I've seen like the videos. I know of in a John Cena documentary, like he shows like, all right, like they say these are all pressed on. Nope, it's the real deal. And they just show like a time lapse of him signing.
Yeah, he's like
and they
Cena's a
pass
machine too.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. So, but so $20 for that autograph, that size poster is pretty cool. I think they had Matt Riddle as well. But yeah, I don't have a Cody Rhodes autograph in my collection. Now I do. And then I just went back to my seat right away. So, I know it's pretty. I didn't mean to cut the line. I swear I was just trying to look, but she asked if I needed help, and I was like, sure, that.
You go to a lot of wrestling shows. Do you think that like, because I've been to Raws and SmackDowns and Dynamites and Rampages, or not Dynamite, Rampages. Was it Dynamite? No, Rampage. And house shows and all this stuff. Do you feel like now in 2023 they've cut the amount of merch they have by like on hand by like 70%?
I mean, at the county center where I was Saturday, it's always just been one stand.
Yeah. But there's not like a ton of options at this point, it seems.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I mean, but also I feel like they don't expect, when I went to a house show when I was 12 years old during the Attitude Era, everybody had a shirt. Like and I'm sure like, at least probably everyone has like a basic tee. But like you could get the headbangers, the Road Dog Jesse James had one, Billy Gunn had one, New Age Outlaws had one, and The Rock had three, Stone Cold had
They
three.
had a bunch of
They had a bunch, but yeah, now you just get like the one or two, and it's a lot of accessories too. And I noticed they're also trying to like sell off WrestleMania merch. Like how if you watch like a sporting event now, you see like the big chain and like whatever the team logo is, they made that for WrestleMania, that they were selling there. But I guess with kids, I feel like you are more likely to buy accessories than you are to buy a shirt necessarily.
Absolutely.
So
I had the Bret Hart glasses. I had the Undertaker foam urn.
Yep.
I had those came from house shows.
Yeah, they've got all that stuff. So
I just feel like it's just dwindled. Like the selection has just dwindled. Like AEW's even worse, I think. Like
AEW did not have a
AEW
big selection when I went
to
Grand Slam.
Trash. And like even when I went to All In, like there was I think one merch table.
Wow. That's shocking.
Maybe there was one on one side of the arena. I know that much.
Yeah.
And like the line was forever and they had like nothing.
Yep.
Like I like swag and it just like I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
So like from like a merch standpoint, it's been wrestling shows have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, in terms of selection, I mean, it's definitely lower. Because I remember when I went to the Garden for a house show, like because I remember for whatever reason my mom had to buy my friend a shirt. Like his mom gave my mom money so she could buy him a shirt, and I just remember like the selection was like 5 tables long. of stuff like against the wall. Like
Mhm.
you want A, B, C, D, E, all the way to triple Z or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, you've got your Roman shirt, you've got a Cody shirt, you've got a Riddle shirt, we got the Bloodline hat, we got the WrestleMania chain, got some autographs, and it's a lot of other tchotchke stuff. Like they had the Bloodline hat, they've got like Beanie Baby Bears, whatever things, you know.
I
So
got the $1 million question. How, what was the Shane McMahon merch looking like at the show? You
like
know?
his quad, it was
Oh,
detached.
oh.
Either that or you know what, it
So
may
he,
have just
so he
may have
had
just
his
sold out.
oh, dude, that's definitely what happened. I was gonna say maybe Cash like it had its own separate like table off to the side
There
just
was a
for like
guy in the
Shane
parking
merch.
lot selling shirts for
VIP
$10.
ticket holders only.
You should have brought your boxes, Dave. You could have set up right next to him. You got some racks, you
Just
know.
out in the car. Sure, we
Selling
got shirts, XL shirts,
You
never
look like you
wore.
could fit an XL.
You name the wrestler, I got the shirt.
You like Danhausen?
Well, what was interesting is it's
50 Danhausen
yeah.
shirts to ship.
I got you got Danhausen. I got plenty of Danhausen. But what's cool is Impact Wrestling is coming to the county center in September. Margaret and I are going to go. They're filming their 1,000th episode of Impact TV. And they're having
Oh.
Victory Road, I think is the pay-per-view they're doing. Maybe I could be wrong. But they're doing a pay-per-view Friday night and they're doing Impact TV tapings on Saturday. So we're going to go to both of those, have some fun there. So more of that. But yeah, definitely, it was a lot of fun. I forgot how fun house shows are. I wouldn't go to like a Madison Square Garden house show, just because it's the fun thing about the county center is it's a small, intimate building. Like it's fits over 1,000 people, but like there's not a bad seat in the middle. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's how they do down here with NXT. They call it like I think they call it like the pineapple loop.
Yep.
They're doing right around here, and it's like maybe 200, 300 people maybe in the place. Something
Yep.
cool. Very
But
same type of thing. Not a bad seat in the place. $20 is like the cheapest ticket, and you can literally like are so close to the ring.
But yeah, so yeah, a lot of like I said, a lot of kids at at those shows. Like it's insane how many kids there are. Kids definitely outnumber adults in a house show. So anybody saying like, oh, it's not cool, like they don't need to be family friendly. I'm like, yeah, they do, because guess what? I went and bought a Cody autograph, whereas one dad brought his 3 kids and bought like every piece of merch they had. So it's all about making that money. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. The kids, and none of the kids were annoying either. So,
Yeah.
but so
It's usually the adults that are annoying because they're smart to the gimmick, you know.
Well, that's
like,
it. There weren't many. I mean, at least not in my section. Like my section was filled with families, so like nobody was being a a fan or whatnot. Like I had a lot of fun. It was just yelling for everybody, you know.
Did you see any Bullet Club shirts? Is there
No,
anything like that?
I did see a Wrestling N.R.D. broadcast shirt.
Okay.
It was worn by my sister. It was my
wow.
sister.
In Grand Rapids, there's some like local wrestling company, I guess. I don't know really. They don't promote well because like they don't say where the event is on the flyer, and there's no event page. So I'm like, yep, I'm not looking this up. Like I want all the information on the flyer, or I'm not looking it up. But we were sitting, so I get free tickets to WWE shows, and we were sitting, like 3 rows back from the ring. It was a house show, and the row behind us was all these like I'm assuming wrestlers because of how they were talking, and just the whole time, start to finish, critiquing, and I could do that, I do this better, and I'm like, yo, shut up.
Seriously,
watch the show, enjoy. Like it's wrestling fans that make wrestling not enjoyable.
Yep. No, you're completely right. Like I said, my only critique was, and I'm explaining to Daniel, I was like, yeah, there might be a title match. It like rarely changes hands on a paper. Like
it's happened before.
It's happened, but it's very rare, and it's usually like the cruiserweight title, or like that's the thing. Like I think that would have been cool about having the 24/7 title still. Like let that just change like hands at house shows. Like let it start with R-Truth. He gets pinned by Titus O'Neil midway through, and then at the end, R-Truth wins it back. So you can still have your continuity for TV. That's fine. But I just kept thinking to myself the entire time, like, oh my God, can you imagine if like a Gunther fucked up and like didn't break up a cover. Like, oh shit, Shinsuke Nakamura is the new IC champ. The streak's over.
Days before the internet, they would just patch the belt. It would be like TV, and then the Rockers and the Midnight Express would wrestle the same match and just pass the tag title back and forth to each other all the way back. And then by the time they get back to TV, it would just be back on the same person that it was on last TV. No, never mentioned any of it. Nobody ever knows.
Exactly.
But the internet ruined all that now.
You know, house shows are a lot of fun, and you can tell that the wrestlers were enjoying themselves. Like they're not worried about timing as much, and just they would just cut loose and like mess with the crowd and whatnot. So
Vince is sitting in Gorilla waiting for him to come back. I'm sure Vince McMahon was nowhere near this arena.
No.
He probably didn't even realize it was going on.
That is fun fact. That is the same building I graduated high school and college in, and got my 2 COVID vaccines. Historic building. Not going to tell you what else I've done there because it's very frowned upon. So,
Intercore.
No, worse.
Speaking of intercourse,
I'll tell you when we're done recording.
Speaking of intercourse and arenas, like when you go to a bathroom, like a public bathroom, sometimes in the urinal there's a little bee.
You got like a pee on it. It's the aim.
Yeah. So about this, right? Because people
I know.
Okay. It has nothing to do with intercourse. I've wanted to just bring up the PB for a long time.
It's the thing. You're supposed to aim for it.
So many people out here don't know that exists.
I mean, I've seen a lot of urinals that don't have it, but I know I've seen it.
They're like, no, there's no such thing, and
it's real, baby.
It's real. It's the PB.
Surprise. Yeah.
All right. I mean,
wrestlers. We can talk about wrestlers. I'm surprised when you were in the arena peeing on the bee, Dave, that Ken Shamrock didn't come up next to you. Like, I heard you got my bindi.
Yeah, I got it right here. Well, the Ken Shamrock bendies around here. So again, just boxes as far as the eye can see, folks. I can't. I know where they are, but they're packed. They're packed away still. So I'm sorry, but I do. You know what I do have out though? This card that I touched before we moved to give me the strength to not take anybody out.
It's Buff Bagwell.
Stuff, baby.
Hold on, time out before we go on. Just because we talked about Buff, I was just thinking about this the other day. Buff said that there was a Buff Bagwell brawler coming.
Still waiting.
Yeah,
but I just haven't
seen a lot of things.
I feel like there's been enough time between that interview and now that this Buff Bagwell brawler should have surfaced from now. So now I don't know. I'm skeptical about the Buff brawl. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Buff don't even know what a brawler is. He's just like, Tuesday, man, it's coming out.
I mean, Ming got a brawler, so maybe next Tuesday. Brian Barker's like, it's coming, it's Buff. And then I'm going to feel stupid.
Let's just be real about that Buff Bagwell interview. It was a time. And he followed through with nothing he said he was going to follow through with. And
typical, but it's as expected.
Man,
so I think most of what he told us was a work.
That's it.
Not even a work. It was he just has no idea. He had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. Pretty wild, Buff Bagwell.
He
Check that out.
literally called me WrestleMania weekend Sunday at 8:30 in the morning to see how my Mania weekend has been.
Yeah.
He probably thought you were doing an appearance at WrestleCon. Like your table is busy as mine, man. I'm selling lots of gimmicks.
It woke me up and I had to answer it. So I left my wife and my dog in bed and answered the phone.
If Buff calls you, you gotta answer.
And I'm like, I didn't want him to think he woke me up. So I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man?
Oh, that's great.
What comes first? Put a chair on. What comes first? The Buff Bagwell micro brawler or the Josh Matthews phone call thanking everybody that bought his micro brawler?
I'll tell you what comes before both of those things. And that is a Chris Castro micro brawler in the potential future Pro Wrestling Tees Pro Wrestling Crate. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Jason Rich, guest from episode 4 on this broadcast, longtime supporter of the show.
The most brilliant idea that has ever happened. Jason.
Really did. So for those of you who have missed it, the Major Pod came out with the Major Crate 2. I don't know if Jonathan Mayer got it yet or not. I know
No,
I
like,
didn't.
I saw
So
spoilers. That thing sucks.
yeah, I will say this. I have not seen unboxing. I saw pictures from Jonathan Hodap, and I'm very glad I passed on it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's unless you
It
are
was
a major
awful.
mark, unless you are a major mark, not for me. So was there an autograph? Was there
There was 3 autographs on it.
3 autographs?
Oh, I didn't see any of
A
it.
3 for 1. It was a 3 for 1.
Now I
It
gotta
was
go back
like
and check these.
it was like characters from the show though. It wasn't like any. It was like
Now I
That
gotta go
shit
back and
it was so bad. I think Dougie posted it in one of his groups, and I just looked at it and I'm like,
the
60
brawlers
bucks.
are cool.
Hodap
brawlers
did
are
not.
cool.
Hodap
I
did
have
not
only-
send me the autographs. He just sent me the items. So
I only saw one of the chase brawlers. I only saw the Cardona chase. I don't know who posted it or where it was, but like, I don't know what the difference is.
It's just like reverse colors, I think, on it.
wait a second. What's spoiler alert on because this ain't coming out for a while. So can we talk about the crate?
No, we're good.
Or
Yeah,
should we
let's go
talk
for
about it
We're
next?
fine.
Okay, so
We're good.
spoilers.
We've already
Spoilers.
talked.
Spoilers from this
and-
point if you haven't already seen the crate. So I'm going to break down the items that I got from Hodap really quick.
I already
Um,
don't want to have this conversation.
So there is a boozing with the toys shot glass, a Mark
That's cool, I
Sterling.
guess.
I believe it's a post-it pad.
Yeah.
A
'Cause it's legal
Stang,
notes.
a Stang makeup kit,
Or
an
to your when you gotta. Yeah.
an FW, yeah, because that Papa Shango one went over so well. An FWF keychain, a major players T-shirt of their brawlers, a Chelsea Green sticker, the major players brawlers, major mark on board, and a Mark Sterling. I'm assuming that's a sticker or a magnet, but it's of his keychain and a major players pin. What are the autographs?
It's like
I don't-
there's like 3 people on it. I can't. My phone is what I'm recorded on.
Because
so
I
can't.
because I see in the background there's like a signature.
It's
well, you
3
can
people
see.
though. It's like a picture with 3 people and each. And there's like 3 signatures on it, but they're like not.
Interesting.
They're like characters from their show.
Yeah,
I can't
it's a
remember who
miss for
the-
me. The T-shirt, I'm not a fan of brawler T-shirts, with the exception of the Macho King one, because I kind of want that. But yeah, I mean, if you're a big fan of the major pod, whatnot,
It's probably great.
yeah, but not for the casual fan.
Yeah, I'm a casual fan. I don't even know if I'm a casual fan of their pod. But like, I like them. They're nice guys. That was just
Total miss.
you hear it
It's,
from me. If that was an AEW crate, you would hear it from me.
it's the brawlers I like and nothing else. Man, I got that was $60 or something, right? 65.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a miss for me, dog.
So pro
but
wrestling.
yes, pro
Tees
wrestling
crate.
tees, pro wrestling crate. Jason Rich, friend of the show, of course. Sorry to get off track there. Jason's good idea. Jason had an idea that he posted on the Pro Wrestling Tees VIP group today. Time recording. We're recording this a week in advance. We're recording this on the 6th. The episode 125 just came out today. But so we came up with the idea of doing a Pro Wrestling Tees themed crate. We all thought of different items. Like, it was funny to see the different items people were thinking. My items were a hold on, I can't remember what the hell
I know what all
suggested.
mine are, so I'll do mine first.
Go
It was a
for it.
Ryan Barkin hip hop necklace,
Yep.
a Ryan Barkin hip hop tank top, a Ryan Barkin hip hop t-shirt or R&B t-shirt, a Chris Castro brawler, and we'll say a Chris Castro autograph, but the picture is of Frank poorly folding shirts and Castro just writing, "Fuck you, Frank, I'm the best, Castro."
I found my list. Mine was a Colt Cabana pocket tee, because I wish those were more available. Like, I'm hoping to meet Colt one day at like a meet and greet, because I know like he does sell his pocket tees at his thing. A Matt Nix micro brawler keychain from his past one. A Barracuda mailbox bomber letter opener.
That is a good move.
I like that one. Like, you could do the mailbox with the Barracuda popping out and the mouth cuts open the thing. A Pro Wrestling Tees logo pin, a Chris Castro micro brawler, and a Ryan Barkin autograph.
Now I love it, but Ryan Barkin there's no chance in hell he's signing that many autographs.
He'd get the stamp. Give him the stamp. And this way just anybody can do it.
That's true.
So it's Chris Eastwood and Stupid Michael just stamping. Even DDJ would help out because I know he's volunteered.
I was thinking about that idea for most of today because I'm going on 2 separate trips a day apart from each other. So I'm trying to pack for both of them and get laundry and homework done before I leave because I won't be able to do homework. Yep. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, all right, so they couldn't do it as a regular crate because a lot of people would be pissed, because there's not a lot of people that are like crazy about it. Yeah. But if they did a pre-order crate that you sign up for it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, like the major crate.
Like the major crate, yeah.
If they did it like that, I think they'd be surprised with how many people would buy it.
Yep.
And because it's not a lot of like names that you've got to pay for licensing for.
Exactly.
It could be a cheaper crate. It could be a $20 crate.
Yep. I think you could save it with, like I said, like that's why I went with the Cult Pocket Tee because it's you're getting one T-shirt, but it's a higher end T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even all have to be like it could be a black T-shirt with a white pocket that has the Pro Wrestling Tees logo on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one that Colt made.
Yep.
Exactly. That's not happening.
Yeah. I don't expect Colt to just be so fucked. There's 5,000 pre-orders just sewing away. Colt had to retire from wrestling. Machine. Yeah, Colt had to retire from wrestling to make your goddamn pocket tees. Hope everyone's happy. Boom, boom. How you doing, CM Punk? But yeah, like you said, they wouldn't have to pay for licenses. Not sold
any tickets.
Or what would even be awesome if they did. I don't know when the last time I know they have like that shot from when the store opened and like the Bullet Club's in there. It'd be cool if like they just had like a staff photo and just everybody that's in it signs it. Like even that'd be cool. Like I think that Pro Wrestling Tees is such. I don't want to say I get kind of has a cult following, but they have a following the same way that the Major Pod does. Like we're fans of their business. Like I just like to know what you're doing in the shop. Like I genuinely get entertained by it. It's little things in our adult lives now. So,
I mean, they created all the stuff that we buy.
Exactly. They are just a T-shirt company.
And they do interact, which is nice.
Yes. Like I'm not a member of the Major Pod Facebook group, but I don't know how frequently Matt, Brian, and Mark, or like even any of the secondary characters like Stang and Joe Shoes are interacting with people regularly if they do. But like I've had like it's pretty cool that and of course it's the power of social media to just I feel like I can have that regular conversation with Frank or Ryan or Michael or Castro like that. And it's really cool. And, like you said, I would more than gladly dish over my money for a Pro Wrestling Tees, Pro Wrestling crate.
Yeah. But one thing that Pro Wrestling Tees needs to never do again is that eBay's auction.
I did not see that. How was that?
I hated it.
Was it pretty much like Whatnot on the eBay platform?
Yes, but like you can't see all the items that they're going to be auctioning.
Okay.
It just like, and I get it. They're working out the kinks of figuring out if it's something they like or whatever. Yeah. But like it felt clunky and it felt like they didn't want to do it. I don't know. It didn't feel the same. And granted, that's also their third show today that they did.
They're doing too much.
They're doing too much. But I think the eBay move is a big mistake.
It's funny
unless something's going on with Whatnot in them.
Maybe. I find it funny though. It's called eBay Live, right?
Yeah.
Has that always been a thing?
You
know what it was? I'm sorry. I was gonna say like Brian Myers came up with that phrase, but he said it was when they originally started doing Whatnot. They used to have like those promos at the end of like any Major Pod video. He said it was like Instagram Live meets eBay, but I thought he said eBay Live, but yeah,
not good. But what's one thing Pro Wrestling Tees did do that was really good?
Tell me.
-1 brawler.
Oh. Curly fingers. # curly fingers.
Curly fingers.
It's a beautiful looking brawler. And it's taller than Swoggle, right?
Yeah,
Taller than
I've seen
Swoggle.
a picture. It's like its own unique height. I don't think there's any other brawlers that
I
are the
don't
same
think
height
there's
as them.
any other brawler that size. For
Bigger than Swoggle,
comparison,
but smaller than a normal one.
for comparison, side by side, incredible.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's a great brawler.
Like, I only
That will
bought
be
it.
up there. I think that's, let's see, how many
No.
brawlers we probably gonna have released in a year? 80.
No.
That's a
A lot.
top 15 brawler.
I don't
No,
know. We'll have to find out.
No?
when we-
I'm going to tell you right now, it's not.
It's not a
It's
top
over in rank.
15?
I don't think so. We're getting
I don't know.
1,000 brawlers.
We're gonna have to
Ah,
figure it
shit.
out.
There's
We have
way
to make
too
a
many.
call out to California and bust the tables out. They're lining
gonna-
brawlers up.
Be real on this one. If we don't have that call from California come through for that, I am not doing it.
We're gonna need a real deal. Spooky fingers. But yes, folks.
Speaking of spooky fingers, we also had the I don't think any of us bought it, but the glow in the dark.
The Glowhausen. And somebody
Frankenhausen.
yes.
It looked cool though. I've seen a picture of it
So-
glowing. It actually kind of cool.
That thing is
I don't
fucking
need it.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's cool, but yeah,
No.
I didn't need.
It's
I mean, I
stupid.
don't
I
need it.
didn't need it. And then Dougie posted a damn picture of it. And immediately I got mad that I didn't buy it. That thing is
They're
so
selling for like
cool.
over
That thing-
$100.
That thing looks so good glowing in the dark.
Yep.
It's a dumb brawler. I don't need it. I have four Danhausen brawlers. I don't need it. But like, man, I am like kicking myself in the ass.
It's a cool concept of a brawler. I wish they had just kind of like released it in like October, but here nor there. Something that is being released very soon is
My contract from the show.
no,
Oh,
my
we gotta
good
come
friend.
up with big money.
Something that is being released, and that is the hopes and dreams of those boys over at the Shoot and Shit broadcast.
Yeah, I
You
hate
know,
you guys.
They think they've got this shot. You know, it's you hate to see it. They really think they've got a shot against us at Forbidden Door. We don't even have our fourth guy yet, but just wait. Us three and our surprise buddy are gonna carve you up at Forbidden Door. But we got breaking news today.
Hold on,
That's gonna be really cool.
Shooting shit, guys. I don't like you. Take my puppets off of your entrance, because we're not friends.
Couldn't even get Topanga to say shooting shit. She had to say shooting poop. But speaking of shooting poop, we're gonna poop our pants with excitement because at Forbidden Door, we're getting Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada in what could arguably be the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Yeah.
You're getting Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship Part 2.
Which could arguably be the greatest wrestling match of all time. Like, realistically, they've announced 2 matches.
And they're big. They're big.
I'm sold.
Remember last year when we wanted Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson? We thought that was as good as it was going to get. Nope.
I didn't want that. I never wanted that. Zack Sabre Jr. I don't ever want to see. Last year I didn't watch it because I was in Alaska.
Oh, that's right. Forbidden Door was a lot of fun. I battled some backyard wrestler during that, I think. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So as our top 3 Tuesday this week, we're going to collectively book a match each for Forbidden Door. You can pick anybody you want from the New Japan and the AW roster. So who wants to go first?
I have more than one match.
Oh, you've got more than. Oh, wait. Are we booking 3 matches here?
We don't have to. I got real excited.
Okay, let's hear them, Tom.
Hangman versus Tanahashi.
Okay.
Hangman versus the Ace. It makes sense. It just makes sense to me. I originally wanted Takahashi against Orange Cassidy, but I don't love that. Then I thought Takahashi against Buddy Matthews would be good, and I do love that. But just looking at the brawlers, I think I wouldn't mind Takahashi versus Malachi Black.
Ooh.
I would love to see Ishii versus Brody King.
Okay.
Just because Brody's so big and Ishii doesn't care.
Yeah.
If we're gonna book a women's match and we'll say Mercedes is cleared by then, I think Mercedes versus Britt Baker would be great.
Okay.
I think Mercedes. I'm not gonna do the Mercedes Saraya that everyone thinks will happen. I don't want that. But like Mercedes versus Thunder Rosa might be a good match.
Could. Yep.
But then you've got Naito. Who's Naito gonna wrestle? Naito has to wrestle.
May I give that one?
Yes.
I would like to see Naito versus Malachi Black.
No. I understand it, but no. I disagree.
I can't remember which of the Top Flight brothers that is not hurt right now.
Darius
is not hurt. I would like to see Darius Martin versus Takahashi.
That could be fun.
Just because I think they could do a lot of flippy dippy stuff and have some Takahashi could just completely weird him out. But then at the same time, I like where you thought about Buddy Matthews versus Takahashi, like Battle of Odd. Anybody got a pet in AEW? Oh my God. CM Punk versus Takahashi. CM Punk and Larry versus Takahashi and Daryl.
I'm not even putting CM Punk on the show.
I wouldn't mind that Kenta CM Punk
I don't
match.
know who. So I don't even know who would be a good option for CM Punk to wrestle that would make sense or that anyone would care for. Everyone say, "Oh, it's Tanahashi, the Ace versus CM Punk." Hell no, no one wants to see that.
Gato. Taka Michinoku.
Yeah, I mean, then you could do the Acclaimed versus what's his face? The tag
Rocky
team.
Romero?
Taguchi and I can't remember the guy he's been teaming with. It wasn't Master Wato. But Taguchi, he's the guy who acts like a referee sometimes, like a coach.
You do Max Caster versus Rocky Romero in a rap battle. Yeah. I think that'd be fun. Nick, who do you want to see at Forbidden Door? You've been quiet.
We could do. I'm trying to think. We all covered a lot of ground.
Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe.
I was trying to think of who would seem or who Shane McMahon would fight, but I don't think Shane McMahon's cleared.
Shane McMahon would fight Gato.
What about FTR versus Gorillas of Destiny?
Ooh. Actually,
I don't think they've ever fought before either.
No, that would be. That would be fun. A Forbidden Door. That would be a moment.
There's a lot, yeah.
Because they didn't get everybody on last year's Forbidden Door, and I'm glad because it leaves
because of COVID.
Yes. So let us know what matches you're looking forward to on Forbidden Door.
Also, before we get off New Japan, I just wanted to say it's kind of cool that Eddie Kingston is in the G1 this year.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty cool. The G1 is a little wild this year.
Eddie Kingston versus Naito.
There's going to be some good matches.
Did they do Eddie Kingston versus Ishii? Or am I imagining that?
They did that.
Run it back.
Pay-per-view.
Yo, I was I didn't watch Dominion yet, but I heard that as a pay-per-view from New Japan, it was banger after banger after banger. And yeah, I think New Japan's stepping it into full gear for Forbidden Door.
Yep.
But having Eddie Kingston in the G1 is wild.
Yep, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I want Eddie Kingston versus Yano.
There you go. Let us know who you want to see go through the Forbidden Door coming up at the end of the month. Of course, let us know in the comment section below. Of course, check us out on all the platforms, social media. Check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com/The Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. And that's nerd spelled NRD. Of course, join our Patreon, Patreon.com/WNRDB. We've learned that we're not only getting lucky with brawler chases, we're also getting lucky with giveaways on the whatnot. So shout out to Matt Rudd, who's a patron. And if you want your opportunity to win a free t-shirt or become Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank, join our Patreon by the end of the month. You could qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder matches at London in July. You could win the Broadcast in the Bank briefcase. I am living proof that you can cash that sucker in and win it. The briefcase has a 50% succession rate. Just saying. So, Tommy, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted, before you said your endearing sign off, Just one more quick thing to the Shooting Shit Boys. I think it was Giovanni,
The hot
whatever,
one?
whoever you are. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday on the nerd post. But screw you. I don't even care about you guys. DDJ, I'm gonna give you a thumbs medium because that's as mean as I could be to you because I really love you, DDJ. But right now, you're just here. You're usually here. Now, right here. So I'll see you guys at Forbidden Door because I'm the king and you guys are just some guys, peasants. Is that good? Did I do okay?
You did great, Tom.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe to the
Yeah.
channel if you haven't already done so. Like the video, share it with your friends. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe. Ring the bell, too. Ring-a-ding-ding. We're in the Dave Cave 3.0. So on behalf of myself, DaveCTheVoice, the founding father, Mr. Nick Carpenter, and His Royal Says Highness, Mr. Tom Sasso, don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, except to the Shooting Shit Boys, and God bless America.
Well. Looks like the good old boys over at Shoot Shit decide to go pew-pew and do a little shooting. But you boys want to open your mouths, you want to talk about us? Javon wanted to go say that we don't need to say who we are because they already know who we are. Javon, I hate to break the news to you, pal. Nobody knows who you are because last I checked on your view counter for last week's episode, it's at 24, and I'm 2 of them because I had to just make sure that you were showing the disrespect in not saying our show's name correctly. It's not the Wrestling N.R.D. broadcast. It's not the Wrestling Nerd podcast. It's called the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Not that difficult. Even my nephew can say it. Okay? And the premier, Joey K, wants to say that he's got more wrestling knowledge that he's forgotten than of wrestling knowledge that I have retained? Joey, it's because I have a social life, my dude. I have friends and family that I go see and hang out with. I don't just sit in my parents' basement all day watching old NWA tapes. There's a reason that I-95 collapsed it so that we could keep people out of that dump that you call a home in Pennsylvania. And DDJ, I love you, brother. Really, I do. You are one of my favorite people on this planet and in this wrestling community. But if you want to be on the wrong side of history, then I got some bad news. I'm going to just have to take you back to that junkyard that we found you. So if you boys want to come onto a real show and find out what it's like in the big time on the Wrestling Nerd broadcast, come on through that door. I'll hold it open for you, be a gentleman. But you're not going to like what you see on the other side. Because we are the ones. We are the true kings. And we are NRD.